Hey, everybody, welcome to Saturday Hockey Talk. I'm your host, Rick. And what do we got for you tonight? We're going to play a game. I've got, I think, 14. Um, it's called Who Stat Is It? And I've got 14 players. And they range from easy to very difficult. And basically, I'll give you the stats, position they played, any awards, although I can't really read the awards, and what teams they played for. And you got to figure out whose stats are those. So we're going to do that. And we're going to talk about anything that anybody who's here. We got somebody. Oh, we got some people here. Anything you guys want to talk about as well. But we're gonna do both. And I had these things I think last week and we didn't use them, so we're gonna do that. It's fun. It's something that if you know, I'm involved in another channel as well. Don't Puck with Media, and it's something we're running on social media every day. Canon puts these out. They're generated at random, and just to get some interaction from fans and stuff. So I thought I'd gather them up, all the ones we put out so far, and see if you guys can guess whose stats these are. Hopefully without cheating. Although some of them, I don't know how you're going to get them without, but I think some of them are easy enough for no cheating. Some of them I had to cheat to get. I did, so we'll see. Anyway, let's use here, and then we'll go from there. All right, Guru, Habs Guru, first one up. I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing okay. How you doing? How you doing? I'm pretty much 100% over to COVID. When I was sick that time there, and I said, no, it's not COVID, but it was COVID. It turns out it was COVID because my ex-wife Lou got it, and there's no doubt she's got COVID, even though we don't have the testers. So even though I had it pretty easy because I got my vaccines, my son had it really easy, but she had it really hard. So I know it was COVID, and I'm not 100% over, but I'm not contagious anymore. I'm not going to give it to anyone anymore, but I still have it there. Let's see, Joe from the future. Good to see you out there, Joe. Just woke up. Wet, miserable weather there. I thought you. I wasn't sure where this was going, Joe. Rainy season for you? Is that what it is, or? Guru says raining there too. Here, no. A nice day, but hot here. So hot, humid day. We're about to get a heat wave. At least for the next 3 days, possibly longer. But we're gonna have in the 40s with the humidity. Low 40s, but still not gonna be fun. BL, how's it going, BL? We sure could use some of that rain down there. You guys must be getting what we're getting, right? It's not. Well, again, my second time. January of 2023, I had it for the first time. This is not my fault. My son got it first. He gave it to me. Nothing I can do. Joe says supposed to be the driest time of the year. Oh, supposed to be the driest time of the year. Yeah, but weather's kind of fucked up everywhere now, so who knows anymore what you're supposed to get, right? August and September, your driest months. Well, August is one of our hottest. September starts to get nice as you start to roll towards autumn or fall. So you haven't had rain there in 3 weeks. Wow. BL is down in Nova Scotia, so in the Maritimes. What are the symptoms? What I got wasn't that much. Okay, so when I first got it, I knew something was wrong, and the only thing I could liken it to was when I had COVID the first time. Just I felt like I could feel my aura. It's the only way I could describe it around me. I just wanted to sleep. That was it. By the next day. I slept a lot. So by the next morning, I was feeling a little better. By the next night, I was feeling mostly better. And then then that night, my nose started to run and the cold came. And so I got a cold, then a bit of a bit in the throat. And the cold one is just remaining in the nose, a little bit in the throat. And that's it. No worse than that for me. Lou got fever. I might have had mild fever. Lou got fever for a couple of days, and she was bad for about 4 days. She was really sick for 4 days, and then it broke, and same thing. Cold came on, and she's getting over that. So that I don't know what strain it is. I don't know what, but it was definitely COVID. You're at Cape Breton, isn't that Nova Scotia? Or I'm wrong. Still be I'm wrong. Cape Breton is its own province or something? What? But you're just telling me exactly where in Nova Scotia. All right. So what do we got here? We got 7 people so far. We'll see. Let's get a few more people in, and then what we'll do with the this game, I'm gonna put up the thing. I'll read it out in case people have it too small on their screen, and you try to figure out who it is. I'll give it a certain amount of time. Everyone give their guess. Try not to cheat. There's some of them I know if you get it easily, you're cheating, and there's some that are really easy that if you don't get it, I'd be surprised. There's 3 of them, depending on your age. There's 3 that should be really easy. Like I got it just from looking at the teams they played for, and then I knew who it was before anything else. So there's 3 like that for me, and we'll see who else gets them like that. We'll see. Joe says, "Good thing I did not go for a run this morning. 90,000 are in the city to surf this morning. Nice, but yeah, I guess crowded. Good for the economy, but crowded. A 14-kilometer fun run. What's fun about running 14 kilometers? Someone tell me. It doesn't sound fun to me either, especially if it's freaking hot or rainy. That doesn't sound fun at all. 14-kilometer drive in a car where you're dry and you're cool. Like that sounds better. It's rare it rains on that day. Yeah, well, what can you do? It's right. It's sometimes it's like that, right? Here it's kind of like when we have I guess I want to say either Canada Day or Saint Jean Baptiste Day. It depends, but a lot of times it rains on that day. So I'd say more often than not, it's a rainy day than it's a perfectly great day. So it's funny how that happens. It's like Mother Nature knows. Guru is saying a lot of McTavish rumors in the last few weeks. Yeah, but they're rumors. Rumors are. Here's what I know about that. I only know from and my dog seems excited about it. Here's what I've read about McTavish. The ask is, and BL's probably going to go okay, but the ask is either Reinbacher and a first, which the Habs don't want to pay, and I agree, or Slavkovsky and a first, and a first and a second, I think, with Slav, or a second and third, but it's either Slav or Reinbacher, is what I'm understanding the ask is. Now, if McTavish is your second line center, Reinbacher is too much. It's too much. And honestly, again, I don't know that they want to part with Slav either. So I don't know. And that apparently is what the ask from Anaheim is. Reinbacher and a first. So next year's first round pick, or that's what I'm hearing. I said BL's going to go for that. BL's going to say for sure. Apparently, the Habs are not willing to do that right now at this point in the offseason. But that's what I've read. So do I know that that's true? I don't, but it totally makes sense that that's what they're not giving McTavish for, a bag of pucks and a couple of draft picks. They're not. So, we'll see what happens. Rains on Easter? It's just Easter. Who cares? I'm Jewish, so. But there you go, BL, right? Give him Joshua Roy in the 7th. Obviously. But I mean, that's the whole point. A lot of people think just give like that and you'll get McTavish. No, you won't. To get McTavish is going to cost something big. It could put a hole somewhere else in your lineup. So they have to wait. Is it worth it? That's all. Now, they might feel that at some point it is. Something might come up and they can get somebody that they can, to have instead of Reinbacher, and they go, okay. And, that might happen. But from what I understand, Habs don't want to do that. If this is all true, I don't know. It's just rumor, and I don't know. Slav can stay put in Montreal. I don't think they want to give up on him either. I mean, Slav is part of that first line. That first line last season was the number one line in the league. So, again, that's a big give to get McTavish. Now, do I like McTavish? Awesome. I'd love to have him here. But it's always been at what price? So, we'll see if they do it or not. I don't know. Marinaro had a show on it, but I didn't watch it. I might have been getting some of what I'm talking about from there. I didn't watch it either, but reading about that might have been where it came from. I don't know. Reinbacher and a second is more realistic. I don't know that it's the first or the second. That's the big problem for them. It's the Reinbacher. Reinbacher is planned on being here and being part of a top 5 at least defense in the NHL in a few years. And he's going to be an important part. And he's the kind of guy that, man, he kills plays. He's doing it with Laval. According to Mayu, I saw some little thing with Mayu. He was asked about players. What do you have to? Your opinion on this guy, that guy, right? Reinbacher, amazing, kills plays. That's the kind of guy I want here. He's got big size. He's got great mobility. It's not the kind of guy, even though McTavish could be a great player, and I really like the guy and all that, that's a big ask. Now, BL, I expect not the biggest Reinbacher guy, but even he's saying, Reinbacher in a second is more realistic. Maybe that was the thinking before they got Noah Dobson. That's no. This is all recent what I'm talking about, so I don't think it's before Dobson. Am I boring you? All right. How many people we got? We only got 8, but that'll be fine. Hopefully we'll get more. It is a Saturday night. I don't know. Maybe there's something going on, and people are busy. Or maybe they don't want to check out this old Jew on a Saturday night. I don't know. So this is how it's going to go. I'm going to place it up there. This first one is very easy. Shame on you if you don't get it. If you're a Habs fan, shame on you if you don't get it. You're probably going to get it before I finish reading off everything. And then just put your guesses in the chat. And you don't have to cheat on this one. Try not to cheat. I'd appreciate it if you don't cheat. And I'll give you the answer at the end. And here we go with the first one. First one, career stats, 560 goals, 793 assists in 1,126 games. He's got trophies up his wahoo. Won the Stanley Cup, is one of the 100 best players in the NHL, and played for Montreal, New York Rangers, Quebec Nordiques, and he's a forward. And if you don't already have it, I'm shocked at you guys. BL says Bobby Schmatz. Good guess. Good guess. Hockey Junkie. How's it going, buddy? I'm not giving it out until we get more guesses, but right. Right. And right. All four of you so far got it right. I mean, this was okay, so what happens is Cam puts this out on social media. So on Blue Sky, he tags me and whatever. So I see it there. And this one I came up, I saw forward, I saw Montreal, New York, and Quebec. And I went Guy Lafleur, like I didn't have to look at anything else. Guy Lafleur, easiest one that there is here. The easiest one. By the way, Junkie, good to see you out there, man. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it, as always. And listen, the season's coming up. I know, and it's Matt's fault because my partner is, he can be procrastinate. He can procrastinate. I'll have to take over the job of getting that, but we got to set up something with you on it. So yeah. Hey, I'm even doing you. A lot of times I'm off camera. Because there's something I don't do on camera anymore. And when people go, why are you off camera? I go, well, hey, Hockey Junkie does it. Why can't I? So, yeah. And Hockey Junkie is my idol. So if you didn't know that, I only doing this because of Hockey Junkie. So, all right, let's get to the next one because I'm just being an idiot right now. That was really easy. Now, this next one should be as easy, in my opinion. Again, I looked at position, the two teams. I didn't have to look at anything else. We'll go to those first. Position is defense. Played for Montreal and Winnipeg. One of the 100 best players in the NHL. Won the Stanley Cup multiple times. I don't know those other trophies because they're too small for me to figure. 106 goals, 333 assists in 1,040. He's a Hall of Famer. I don't know what I just needed to see the two teams and see the defensemen. Let me get to, and I hope everybody there has it by now. Awesome. We say it all the time, and then it's Matt's job to do that. But I'll make sure I get around to setting that up soon too, because the season's starting. I'd like to get you on actually before the season to draw from your brain what you think is going to happen is what I like to do. It won't be painful, I promise. Let me see now. Of course, BL has Mike Pellick. Was Mike Pellick even like a player or a defenseman? Or I should say. Hint, very good hint, because I was thinking of Nathan Beaulieu. It's not Nathan Beaulieu. You know the honest thing, though, Junkie? I knew who it was right away. But after I said to myself, Savard, Nathan Beaulieu's name did cross through my mind because he played there. I was thinking, who else played there like that? A defenseman. It was Nathan Beaulieu. So there you go. No, try again. Terry Harper, it was not. I know you know it, and I have not figured out BL's system of how the name he gives to who he actually means. I haven't figured it out. It's not another Guy either. It is not another Guy. And I'm shocked at all of you. Do you guys want a hint? I'll give you a hint. But one person asked for it, and I'll give the hint. His initials are both the same letter. Now we're getting there. It took you guys like a while. There's Savard. Seriously, I mean, okay, I'm just a little surprised. Just a tiny little bit surprised. Yes, Serge Savard, who the only other team he played for was Winnipeg, and he had all of those trophies and is one of the 100 best players who ever played the game. Apparently. All right, we will go get one more. Now, this next one is not a Montreal Canadian. It's not all Montreal Canadiens. I think you'll get it. I got it from the three teams that he played for. But I mean, it's not new. I would think he retired. It was the 80s when he retired. And here it is. Career stats, goals, 484 goals, 637 assists and in 1,096 games. Considered one of the 100 best players to play the game. Played for, he's a forward, played for Toronto, Philadelphia, and Detroit. Toronto, Philadelphia, and Detroit. We're going to wait for some guesses before I anoint somebody with a correct guess. So far, we have, I'm just going to say BL brought up Bobby Schmaltz again, but it's not. And then he made another guess. That would be Daryl Sittler. Anybody else? Going once. Going twice. That's a tough one for you. I wouldn't think so, though. Because, I mean, that's in the area of that picture in that era of the picture you use all the time. Not that it's not that guy, but it's in that era. Anybody else going to have a guess? I tend to think Junkie knows it. I'd be surprised, actually, if Junkie doesn't know it. Although I'm still not sure how old you are. So maybe you're younger than I think, and then, okay. But I kind of think you're in a certain age range and that you might know this. And yeah, I don't know why. I've never asked how old you are. Okay, I'm going to give it in like 10 seconds. No, because there's no guesses. Did everybody leave? No, we have a few more people. Not a ton, but a few more. All right, so you're 37. Okay, so you're on the low part of what I thought. I've never seen you, so I can't judge how old you are. I've never seen your face. I have no idea what you look like. We've only talked because you've been on the pod. So yeah, I didn't know. I kind of thought you might have been just a few years older, not much, but just a few. But yeah, okay. All right, so the only guess we got was Daryl Sittler, and that is who it is, Daryl Sittler. And I think I went just a pup compared to me, just a pup. So I wasn't sure if he played for Detroit, but I know that he went to Philadelphia. I knew that, and so I guessed it. In that I said I think it's Sittler, and I was right. So. And you look at the numbers and the games played, and he's a top one. Like you can put it together, but it took me, I'd say, 15 seconds to get that one. I would say. Okay, let's get to another one. So that's the three easiest. Although I think this one might be that it's a more modern player. He's retired at this point, and this is a goalie. He played for the Islanders, the Canucks, and the Panthers. He had a career stat of 252 goals against, 919 save percentage, 77 shutouts in 1,044 games. The trophy there, I don't know if that's the Conn Smythe or something like that. I don't know what that is because it's too small for my old eyes. Now, I surprisingly looked up two other players to see if I got it right before I banged my head like that. Oh, it's From the teams. I got it off the teams. I think some people don't realize the first team he actually played there. I won't see the answers unless I go to the comments. Let's see. Joe said had met Sittler. You met Sittler. Oh, look at this. Met Sittler years ago. He was at the Macquarie Ice Rink promoting a hockey event that was in Sydney. That's awesome. This is one of the few old Leafs. I mean, I do respect. Daryl Sittler was a very respectful hockey player. I don't like the team, but you couldn't hate Sittler. BL says Bill Durnan. Junkie says Luongo. BL come to his senses, said Luongo. Joe says Luongo, and it is Roberto Luongo. Yeah, seriously, I was looking at it and going, okay, 77 shutouts, that's a good player. Played 1,000 games, that's a good player. And I couldn't, and I'm guessing, I don't even remember who in my head I guessed. And it was just like all of a sudden, oh, idiot, it's Luongo. And so, yeah. All right, let's find another one. I have, that's only 4 of, I think I have 14. So, yeah, I've got 10 more. Now, the last one is impossible. The last 3 are going to be really hard. Let's just say that. Now, this one shouldn't be too bad. I guess this one pretty easily. And we'll go center, played for Nashville, Colorado, Toronto, St. Louis, won the Cup, and all the other awards there. I think one of them is a Conn Smythe. I think he did win. He played, scored 303 goals, 521 assists in 1,152 games. I think this one is pretty easy. I got it from I looked at the stats and then the teams, and I got it from there. From the teams. Gonna wait for a couple of guesses. Oh, Orland Kurtenbach. Yeah, there you go. Sheldon Kannegeezer. It's Sheldon Kannegeezer. Come on. Wait for one more guess. Somebody else to throw in there, and I'll say who it is. Considering the 2 serious guesses that there are, I'm surprised not a lot of other people went, oh, ding, 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 it's Ryan O'Reilly. Yeah, it's Ryan O'Reilly. Here's a guy that I've been talking about a little bit recently that, if they feel the need to go trade for a second line center, a veteran, if they want to, like O'Reilly would be a guy I'd go for. He's only got 2 years left at $4.5 million. I like that guy. I think he's got enough in the tank to play out that contract here. And I could see that. I don't think they're going to do that, but if they did, I'm good with O'Reilly. O'Reilly is a beaut. Yeah, no, listen, guy's got Stanley Cup experience, obviously. He's won some awards. Look at the numbers. He's tough. He's, I think he's experienced the leadership value. O'Reilly wouldn't be a bad thing, and he's only got the 2 years, left on the contract, so it's not a big commitment. We'll see. Hey there, Joseph. I'm too slow. Oh, he's too slow. You know what? For the short period of time, I don't know. He gets the job done. I get what you're saying, but he's also smart, and he knows I think he gets the job done based on his hockey IQ and knows where to be and his anticipation and stuff. I think he'd be fine personally. I don't think they do it, but I still think he'd be fine. Tough at both ends. That's right. He's got a 2-way game, which is, I think, needed. And yeah. Joe asked, does anyone understand NFL? 1 game on free-to-air TV here, 1 game a week. Do I understand NFL? A little bit. I'm rusty, but I don't follow. But I'm sure there's other people that are not rusty like I am for the NFL. All right, let's get another one. I think this one's probably as easy, maybe easier, but we'll see. All right, his defenseman played for Nashville, Tampa, and the Rangers. And I think you're going to get that from just that. Won a Stanley Cup, played in 1,010 games, 80 goals, 340 assists. Now there's a team. Oh, there's a team that you could add to that, but I know it didn't play for that team, but was part of the organization. That's a hint. I don't think it's needed. And let's see. BL got a guess in. Let's see if we get some more guesses before I reveal the correct guess of who it is. I got who you meant there, BL, without the fixing it. Joseph and BL have the same guess. Joe has the same guess. You're getting PTSD with that one? Yeah, I go. So, yeah, it is. It's Ryan McDonough, and I didn't think you needed my clue. The team I was talking about that he never played for was Montreal because we traded him away for Drouin, and he never played here. Just horrible mistake by our former GM. Junkie, I don't blame you for wanting to black that one out. But listen, what are you going to do? It happened, and we hopefully this new this new group that we've got and what we're building here is going to make us forget all about that one. All right, so we get into the little bit harder. This one was one of the first that Cam put up, and I got it, but I gave like 3 players that I thought it might be. But the first guy, I guess, was the guy who it is. So let me see if you guys can get that. All right, so center, played just for Detroit, won those awards, won the cup twice, 314 goals, 604 assists in 953 games. I can sort of give a hint if needed, but I have a feeling it'll be guessed. I'm not that worried about that, but it took me, I had to think about that one, and then I came up with 3 possibilities, and I got it on the first one. Well, if that's your guess, fine, but I'm not going to reveal it yet. Let's get a few guesses. Junkie is saying Yzerman? Could be. And then he said, no, it's not. Yeah, I do, and more games played too, I think, really. So it's not Yzerman. Kerman. Who the hell's Kerman? I don't even. Is like Kerman the Frog? Kermit's brother? I don't know anybody named Kerman. Joe Veleno. Yeah, but we know Veleno played for more than Detroit. Joseph says Fedorov, which is a good guess too. Zetterberg, says Junkie. Zetterberg was one of the guys that I guessed. It could have been the first one, could have been the second or third, but Zetterberg was a guess of mine. I did not guess Fedorov, but only because I blanked on Fedorov's name, but that's a good guess too. But I guess what I just said, then it's not Fedorov. And right, actually, Fedorov played for more than that. Played for 4 teams, I think, total in his career. Junkie has another guess, and he's saying Pavel Datsyuk. Pavel Datsyuk. Datsyuk, though, was also listed, I do believe, as a center, and correct, it is Pavel Datsyuk. And I had Datsyuk, Zetterberg, and I forget who the third guy I guessed, but Datsyuk was my first one, so I got it. So it's Datsyuk. But anyways, he got the position wrong, or I don't know if I re-looked this one up. I might have. I think I might have. So it's Datsyuk. Let's see. Fedorov was a good guess there, and Zetterberg too. I mean, but it was one of those Russian guys, Although Zetterberg is not Russian, so the Manic Man. Oh, a better stick handler, definitely in the day, there was none than Datsuk. McDonough was traded for Gomez, not Drouin. McDonough was traded for Gomez? Was that it? McDonough was traded for Gomez? Okay. My bad. That's bad of me, though. All right. It's not Larionov as we. Okay, I'm going to take it down and we're going to go to the next one. All right. So this one, I should have known this one, and it was like Alex who got it right. I didn't get this one right. But okay, a forward played for, not in this order. That's definitely not the right order. I'm not even sure the exact right order, but played for Montreal, Coyotes, Flyers, Sabres, and Colorado, and had 307 goals, 389 assists in 973 games, no trophies. Bill Goldsworthy. Wow, name from the past. Bill Goldsworthy. But then that would have to have, I want to say, the California Golden Seals, because didn't Goldsworthy play over there, either Oakland or California? Guru has Briere. Danielle Briere, current GM of the Flyers, actually, right now. Junkie thinks Guru is right. So I'm going to say Junkie thinks Briere. BL is saying Briere had 307 goals. If it's Briere, this player had 307 goals, yes. I'm going to give it a little bit longer because there's a few more people guessing. So let's get as many guesses as we can in before I give it. Because this next one, you're going to need... There's going to be a difference in guesses, I think. We'll see, but they get harder. The last one, I don't think anybody gets it. He played for those teams, though, so it is Danny Boy, I guess. Another 30 seconds or 10, whatever. Anybody else got a guess? Going once, going twice? Anybody else? Anybody else got a guess? Joseph says, that's right, Rick. I had 352 Goldsworthy cards. Who didn't, right? Because, I mean, you had tons of the shitty players and less so of the, the better players. But, yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, so Briere it is. It's Danny Briere. And I couldn't get this one for my life. And then he says Briere. Oh, Briere. That's who it is. So Danny Briere. All right. I'm going to go to this one first. This was the one from today. I couldn't get it off the top. So I cheated a little bit to get this one. And only put in two of the teams, player that played on two of the teams. And then I picked the guy out from there. So we'll see if you guys get it. A goalie, although it doesn't say that, played on St. Louis, Edmonton, Toronto, Detroit, Calgary, and either Phoenix or Arizona. Don't know where they were at the time. 279 goals against career, 906% percentage for his career, 51 shutouts in 943 games. He does have a trophy. I don't know what trophy that is, so I can't tell you, but there's a trophy there. I'll see. I can give a couple of hints. There's a couple of things I could say. Well, Junkie is pretty confident. Came out pretty quick. Curtis Joseph is his guess. Let's see if anybody else has a guess. I am hoping nobody is cheating, but you may need to after there's at least three. Bill Ranford says BL what questions? Grant Fuhr. Grant Fuhr, I definitely when I was looking, Grant Fuhr was one of the first names I thought of for this guy. I'm not saying whether that was right or not, but Grant Fuhr was definitely a guy I thought of. I also thought of, and I'm going to say that guy is wrong, Mike Smith for some reason. And I know Mike Smith didn't play for some of those teams, but I thought of him. So that was wrong. BL thinks Junkie is right with Curtis Joseph. Anybody else? Going once. Going twice. And Cujo, it is Curtis Joseph. And yeah, I couldn't think of Curtis Joseph. Like I couldn't think of who it is. So I did goalies that played for St. Louis and Edmonton. And I got and then it gave like 3 or 4. And I had to think about it. And I said, okay, let me look up Curtis Joseph's hockey DB. And then boom, that's who it was. Hey, Joel, how's it going, man? And no, it's not Jacques Plante. It's Curtis Joseph. You know what? Jacques Plante would have been a good guess, but I think having Edmonton there and Calgary, Plante wasn't. I mean, and Coyotes. Come on, he wasn't. He wasn't still playing. He played till he was old, but not that old. All right, let's go to next one. And then we'll go to this one so I can catch up. All right, so a center played for Columbus, Anaheim, Detroit, and Washington. Is one of the 100 best players in history. Won a Stanley Cup and all those other trophies, and I can't see them close. I don't know what they are. 483 goals, 696 assists in 1,248 games played. Ladies and gentlemen, whose stats is this? A bit of a tough one, and I did not get it. Basically, because honestly, there were 2 teams there. I didn't know that guy played on those 2 teams. So I didn't guess that guy. Nash. I thought you were going to say Nashville. Steve Nash, I guess is who you're saying. Steve Nash is the guess from BL. Joseph is saying, I know that's a bad spelling, and I'm not sure who you mean. Morrow? Got to look at the numbers, though, eh? That's good points. So any Morrow that I know doesn't have those kind of numbers. I think Rick Nash is a good guess here, but I don't know his numbers offhand. I'm not going to say these are his or not. These could be his. If they're not his, I don't know his numbers offhand. Let's say that. But I do think Rick Nash was a good guess here. Yeah, this one had me, and you know what, though? It shouldn't have. But I didn't know this player played in Columbus, which I knew Rick Nash did, or Anaheim, to be very honest. And was barely sure he played in Washington, I knew. Give it a little bit longer to see if we can get a guess other than BL's got one in. If we can get another guess before I'll say who it is. It's not Rick Nash. I'll say that. But it was a good guess. That was a good hint. My hint there? Yeah, don't be hyper focused. Okay, I'll give this hint. The first team is Detroit. And I can't give beyond that because I don't know where he went in what order, to be honest with you. But the first team is Detroit. That should give it away, possibly. But I have one more hint that I can give you if nobody in 10 seconds, if nobody gives an answer here. That probably is going to give it to you. All right. Second hint. Yeah, I was gonna just say is a guy you mentioned earlier. Yeah, it's Sergei Fedorov. I did not remember that Fedorov played in Columbus or in Anaheim. Do you guys? Like I knew Washington because I think that was the last team, right? Was Washington, but maybe not last. I knew Washington. Uh, Columbus and Anaheim for this guy threw me right off. Right. What the heck, right? So I don't know when. Maybe Columbus was the last team he played for. I don't know, but yeah, but it's Sergei Fedorov. So, and there's like you look at it and go that one of the 100 best players, and I can't figure it out. And yeah, Guru remembers him in Columbus. I don't really. It's not really ringing a bell. Anaheim, I definitely don't remember him at Anaheim. So, all right. Anyways, that was a good one. That was harder than I thought it would be for you guys, and I didn't want to bring it in right after Pavel Datsyuk because you had mentioned Fedorov for that one, so I didn't want to bring that one in next, so I delayed it. All right, so the next one is another goalie. Yeah, you might get this one. I blanked on it, so when I heard the name, it was like, yeah, I should have known that. All right, so he's a goalie, played for Chicago, Florida, Colorado, Ottawa, Washington, and Buffalo. 286 goals against average for his career, 912 save percentage, 43 shutouts, 709 games played, and has a trophy, which I'm going to assume is a Vezina or a Jennings. But there's a trophy there. Let's see if you guys can get that one. I'm just going to go. It's time for me to go off camera, as you all know what that might be. But I'm right here. Just think of junkie. I'm doing a junkie. Considering what I'm doing, it's apropos to say it that way. Sort of, right? That's all the hint I'll give. All right. So this one, I should have known this one. And if you're struggling with this guy, and when you hear his name, you're going to say the same thing. I should have known this one. Over his career, look at the numbers. Good numbers. Played for a lot of shitty teams, but was a good goalie overall. DL, who do you think played in Carolina? You're saying Fedorov played in Carolina? Would they have been able to offer sheet him to do that, or he played with Detroit for that part of his career? No. DL has a guess with a question mark. Anderson, which Anderson? Because there's Anderson, a bunch of them. I like Junkie. That's a great guess, though, as far as name to bring out. Patrick Lalime. I don't know where else he played other than Ottawa, Lalime, but I know he played other places. It could be him. Tony says Anderson. I'm going to assume Craig Anderson because there's no Carolina here or Toronto for Freddie Anderson. So we got 2 Andersons, 1 Lalime. Patrick Lalime, that goes back a little bit, man. Just a little bit. I remember those days. Junkie says, is it Craig Anderson? He did play on a few of those teams for sure. Yeah, okay, I'll give it. It is Craig Anderson. I should have had that one. When I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, I should have had that. But yeah, that's Craig Anderson. All right, I got 3 more, and these are going to be hard. I'll give you the easiest of the 3. It's a forward. Played on Carolina, Pittsburgh, and Vancouver. 152 goals, 132 assists in 770 games, and no trophies. I do have one hint for sure I can give that might help, but try to think about it, and I'll give my hint. Well, he did obviously Jungie play on all those teams, Anderson. There was probably 1 or 2 in there that I had forgotten about, but I should have gotten that one for some reason. That's what I thought when I saw the answer. Anyways, this one: Carolina, Pittsburgh, Vancouver. No trophies, not a ton of points, 770 games played, and a forward. And I have a hint I can give. And honestly, it might be enough. The hint might be enough to give it to at least someone. I'll have to say. I get it. 1 request for the hint. Get another request, and I'll give the hint. No? No cheating, because I think someone will get it with the hint. I feel confident. All right, I'm going to give the hint anyway, since I didn't get a second one. The hint is this: he is one of a group of brothers that played in the NHL. I'm not sure exactly how many brothers, but I do believe 3 or 4 brothers. So he's one of a, and that's going to give it. BL says Sutter. You got to give me a first name. Junkie says Stahl, and he's going to be Jordan Stahl. I'm not saying you're right, though. And I'm not saying BL is right. Tony says Jordan Stahl. Junkie says no, it isn't Stahl. I'll say that. Junkie's right. It's not Stahl. This one's not easy. I don't know if I have another hint I can give. Is it a Rutu? Well, I'm going to, because we have a guess of Stahl, Sutter. If you want to guess Rutu, I don't know how many Rutus were there. I know there were at least 2. BL says Rich Sutter. Okay, let's narrow it down. It's a Sutter. Which one? Which Sutter is it? And I don't know how many. There were 6 Sutters in the league? You get out, you have you can have all the whole line, a whole 5 guys out. BL says Rich or Brandon. Junkie says something about his penis. Oh, Pens. I'm sorry. Played for the Pens and Canucks. Yeah, and Carolina. So Brandon is so he's not okay, but he's a group of Sutters. I didn't say they were brothers. Did I say brothers? I did not know this, so that's bad on me. A Sutter. Okay, since I screwed up, yeah, it's Brandon. Now that one I had to cheat on because there was no freaking way I was going to get that. No way. I had to cheat. I just looked up player who played on those 3 teams and came back with Brandon Sutter. All right. So that one was hard. The next one is harder. You ready for it? He is a goalie. Played for Chicago, Nashville, St. Louis, Buffalo, and either Arizona or Phoenix. At the time, I don't know what they were. 276 goals against in his career, 908 save percentage, only 13 shutouts, and only 235 games played. So not like a ton of games, no trophies, but the numbers are good. Is there a hint I can give? I don't even think I could. The only thing I could give is his initials as a hint, but let's see if you guys can pick it up. We got a guess already. Darren Pang, who I met. I shook his hand at the Four Nations. When I went to pick up my credentials, I got in the elevator with a guy from New Jersey I never heard of. Introduced myself. And then Darren Pang and the girl there that I forget her name. She's always on that broadcast. Anyway, they get in the elevator. So it's just the 4 of us, ride up, shook hands, said hi, whatever. And so I got to meet Darren Pang and this chick. To call her a chick, I know that's not fair. I just don't remember her name. But so we got Darren Pang. I think Darren Pang's actually, it's a good guess, but I do believe Darren Pang played for Toronto, if I'm correct. So Jackie Redmond, BL, that's who it is. So I met Jackie Redmond and Darren Pang in the elevator. Her, I wasn't surprised, a bit of a weak handshake, but I wasn't surprised it's a girl. Darren Pang's handshake was not strong. I'm going to just be nice and say it was not strong. Now, I'm nobody, so maybe that's why, but very weak handshake. Johnny, hey Johnny, how's it going, man? Good to see you out there. I'm doing well. Hope you are as well. So we got Darren Pang as a guest so far. The only thing I'll give you a hint on his initials. It's all I can do because I don't fucking know anything hard about this kid. CH. And no, it's not Carter Hart, if anyone's thinking that. CH are the initials of this. Well, Philadelphia's not there, so it doesn't matter. Of this goalie. And I would not have gotten this one for my life without cheating when it came up. I had to look it up. BL says Hutton. First name on Hutton? Carter Hutton. Got the CH. I can't give more hints than that. And it's not to say that BL's is wrong. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not saying he's right. Joseph says Charlie Hodge. He'd have to be pretty fucking old. And the Habs would have to be on there. Carrie Heiss. How do you say that? Harice. Again, only played for one team. I know Charlie Hodge might have played for other teams, 1 or 2 other teams, but I mean, the Habs would have to be. Again, Johnny, though, no Habs there. Cristobal Huet played for Montreal. I don't think he played for those teams. Maybe Chicago. Tony says Carter Hutton, so we got 2 Carter Huttons. It's going to go another 10 seconds, and I'm going to give it. So if anybody wants to get a last second guess in. All right. I don't even know who this guy is because I don't remember seeing him, but it is Carter Hutton. But I don't even know when he played. He definitely, for a guy who played only 235 games, moved around quite a bit to 5 teams, but his numbers were good. So anyway, but I don't really know much about him, but Carter Hutton. All right. We got one left. This one is hard Guy played in the late 50s and through the 60s. I will give one hint before I put it up. His first name is the name could be given to an animal. Is an animal's name. I think that's the way I want to put it. All right, here comes. A forward. Played for New York Rangers, Montreal, Boston, Chicago, the North Stars, and Toronto. Had 141 goals, 185 assists for 434 in 434 games. So 326 points or something in 430. So good numbers. Not a ton of games, but it was in the 50s and 60s, so they played less games then. So there's that. Yeah, it's the only hint I really can give you is that his name is an animal's name, his first name. Let's see if we can get it without cheating now, because you can go and look it up and get this guy. But let's see if we can get it. And I will give you the name. Did I see him live? I may have, without really knowing it, and I was really young, obviously. But I don't know exactly when. I think he played for Montreal in the mid to late 60s. So I may have. It's an animal's name. I love that. Well, you'll hear when I give it, because I don't think anyone gets it. Bull Durham, that's baseball. Was there an NHL player named Gizmo? That's my dog's name. I don't think so. There might have been, though. I mean, I don't know every player in the league. But this guy had a name. Like, I knew the name. So I knew the player, but I would not have guessed it. But I mean, in knowing hockey history a little bit, definitely came across his name. Didn't really remember he played on the Habs, so didn't really remember that. But I may have seen him when he did play on the Habs when I was really young. So wouldn't have known anything back then. First name Rover. Nope. The only thing other than what I've already said. Johnny says, is Bronco an animal? I don't think so. Yeah, a horse, a Bronco. Isn't that, can you use that for a horse? So I know that Johnny knows it. Don't give their last name. Let's see if anybody else, without looking it up, do anybody remember a player named Bronco? But I know Johnny knows it now, so Johnny's got it. Johnny, good. I don't know if you looked it up. I don't know if you cheated. But if you didn't, good on you. Johnny is of an age where Johnny probably did see him play a little bit. BL says Bronco Horvath. That's the guy's name. Bronco Horvath. Yeah. Yo, Johnny, I know you're an old timer. So when you came up with it, I'm not surprised. Bronco Horvath. Now, I only know the name. Seriously, I only really consciously know the name from, when I was younger, I used to read a lot of stuff about, hockey and older hockey. So I know the name, but man, there's no way I would have got that on my own. But yeah, really good job. If I was giving a prize tonight, Johnny would get that prize just for getting that, because that one was hard. So good on you. I'm going to remove it. Listen, that was fun. I got to build up some more of these. Because I used all the ones that we've used. So he puts that one every day. I don't remember. I don't know if he does on the weekend. I think we got one today. So I'm gonna build them up, and we'll do this again, because that was fun. I enjoyed that. I like doing these kind of things. So yeah, it's kind of I like it. I'm not bad at it, but obviously I'm not. I don't know everybody and all their stats and all that shit. Guru, I'm not surprised. I'm sure a lot of people never heard of Bronco Horvath. Like, you have to be of a certain age, I think, or somebody who's read up and not studied necessarily, but read up on hockey from before your day. Because like I said, it goes back to, I think, 57, 58 season. all through the 60s he played. So I wouldn't have expected anybody. I said I don't think anyone's going to get it, but I didn't know Johnny was going to show up. I forgot about Johnny, and Johnny older than me, that, yeah, he might get it. So definitely. And like I said, I was really young when he was around here. I wouldn't have known him. But if you're a little bit older than me and you were into hockey as a kid, you sure might have known that name. Yeah, Junkie, me too. I like doing this kind of stuff. I mean, it's the off season. Not a lot. Right now, it's really quiet. It's all speculation. If you want to talk about Habs, it's we pretty much know what's happening right now, and the rest is rumor and speculation. We can talk about that. But I thought this is a good night for something like this, and I wanted to use this on, I think it was last Saturday, and we ended up talking about stuff, and I never got around to it. So, it worked out to do this for a whole show. You grew up with a John Horvath? Doesn't mean they're related, though. They might be, but you never know. Junkie, you should get Matt on your show. Rick can't. I'm sorry. That's a super fucking hilarious spiel. Yeah, you just made me crack up, man. Shit. Okay, that was good. That's the joke of the year, without a doubt. Belongs to BL. Oh my god. Oh, don't worry about it. It's not any pressure, but that was funny. That was just funny. I would hope even Matt would find that funny. It's there's a lot of humor and truth, and there's a lot of truth in that statement right there. Anyway, I'm coming back on camera because we're just about done. Yeah, so thank you for that. I appreciate that laugh. It's not often I get a laugh like that, get to laugh like that at something somebody says, so I appreciate that. Where's Matt? Well, it's Saturday, so I don't expect him on Saturday Hockey Talk, but yeah, getting Matt on the show some days is like pulling teeth at times. But I mean, it's like 3 years is nothing new. Imagine Rick and we've done. Listen, Joe, we've done. I've had Junkie on twice, Junkie, or once? Twice, I think, right? And we're gonna have him on again. And I would love to do his show. I would love to do a show, but we've done a little bit of work together. And like I said, hey, Junkie's my. I'm not doing this if there was no Junkie, right, Junkie? When Horvath played, there were only 6 teams, not a lot of players. No, that's true. He well, I think I'm not sure if he was still in the league when during first expansion, but it was right around when he retired. Matt is binge watching The Bachelorette. Yes, it's one of his. Guilty pleasures. Was that it? A podcast and pregame? I wasn't sure. I know you did the podcast once. I know that, but I knew it was twice. I just don't. Anyways, I don't. It happened like more than a year ago. I don't remember. Excuse me. You think it'd be must-see TV? I don't know. It would be the two of us off camera. We both, because now I'm doing a lot of that, and I mean, like I said, I would, if I passed Junkie on the street, I would not know it because I do not know what he looks like. I do know that there are some people that do know what Junkie looks like, but they don't last because all of a sudden they disappear. So I don't know what happens with that. If you get to see his face, it's like, it's like when that girl comes out of the TV, it's not good. Yeah, we need more comedy, especially with all this shit going on today. Excuse me. I'm making it a priority to stop watching political garbage during the day so I can get more work done. It's starting to work. It's better. My my moods are better. So I gotta stay away from the politics too much. Junkie, a great idea, and I have a funny story that I would tell you, but only you, about the last time. I have a funny story about that. That you may not know why I wasn't there or anything, but I have an explanation that, like I said, I would only tell you. Any problem with the wells down there? Oh, you're talking in Newfoundland. Joseph, my ex-wife watches 90 Day Fiance. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I may, yeah, maybe, but I mean, if we're just passing each other on the street, like, okay, he might recognize me, but I wouldn't recognize him to say hello. So we have to see if we can do something about that. I don't know. I just have this weird idea that, Junkie comes to Montreal, we go out and meet each other, and I'm gonna walk away and go, I still don't know what he looks like. Somehow he's just one of these blurry guys, and it's just blurry. Yeah, that would be like, I don't know. That's my weird imagination. I just watched the second South Park last night or the night before. Yeah, there no holds barred there with South Park and Trump. Hey Joe, absolutely would love to have you on. No problem. I gave you an idea. Did I really? Oh, I get you. If you listen, if you can, if you can do something funny with that, go for it. You're gonna wear a Jason Voorhees mask. Scared the fucking shit out of me. Then why don't you? Okay, are we talking about something different, Joe? Are you talking about you watch 90? I don't watch 90 Day Fiance. Or are you talking about South Park? South Park. Yeah, it was pretty funny. The first one was, yeah, and the second one too was awesome. Nah, it's really good stuff. And it's good to see. It's good to see they have the balls to do that. You know what I mean? Well, the only thing I don't like about it is they made Trump Canadian in South Park. I don't. Now they're not saying he's Canadian, but the way the head moves and all that's Canadian. And they made him that, but it's because one of them was Canadian. I think they thought it was funny with his wanting to take over Canada and stuff. There's a lot of stuff there that was crazy good. I said my ex-wife. She's my ex-wife, yeah, but I mean I'm her caretaker. She's handicapped, so I take care of her. But she's my ex, but my best friend. All right, well, we ran a little bit over. That was a really fun episode. Next week, hopefully, as we're starting to get closer to camp. You know, hopefully, like there's news and there's stuff to talk about. But right now, just there's nothing. I personally think they're not going to do anything. I don't. Junkie, are you still here? Your opinion? Habs making a deal before camp, or they're done for the off season? Yeah, blame Canada. Well, that's what they're doing. I'm surprised that song hasn't come up yet in the first two episodes. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring it back for this season. Well, Junkie, thanks for coming by and sharing your I don't even have the word with us. We appreciate it. Definitely appreciate having you on anytime. And like I said, I'm gonna get in touch with you. We're gonna do something before the season starts. Definitely. You think they might make one more move? Um, I'm not saying they won't. What I kind of have out there is I think we're only going to see that at training camp. If they feel it depends, like how, like if Reinbacher makes the team out of camp, what do they do with Matheson? I think that might make Matheson expendable. So you might see a move there. Um, Maybe once camp is on, teams find out what they've got, what they don't got, what they need, what they're doing sometimes for the season. A player might shake free. That's a guy for the second line center. So we might see something there. Yeah, but otherwise I really do. I think they're more than likely done for this off season. That's how I feel. You know what, Junkie? I am guilty of not having seen, or I don't know if it's seen or listened to your podcast. I got to change that. So I'm going to do that. I don't know if, so we have our podcasts. So on the other channel, this one here, by the way, merch, link in the down there below me. You can get a shirt like this. There's all kinds of stuff in that store. And by the way, I think third or fourth time washing, still in good shape. So passing the test. What was I saying? I totally forgot what I was going to say. How do you like that? Oh yeah, wait, something to do with you on the pod. Oh yeah, so on the other so we have like 3 podcasts, which is really being led by Flyer Gonna Flyer. That's the one that's getting the most play. But so I get an email one day from Good Pods, because we're on Apple, and apparently Apple and Good Pods, and they're saying we're number 33 on the top 100 hockey podcasts. And so I go look, and we're number 33, and we're just behind Don Cherry, and it's like how there's nobody watching and listening right now. We're not getting the play. How are we number 33? So I don't know, but I think this week we're number 37. I'll take it. It looks great when you're telling people, hey, we got the number 37 podcast, and it helps, but I don't know how accurate that is. But it's nice to see it. Anyways, check us out, by the way, all our pods, even Habnormals is out there on Spotify. Habnormals is only on Spotify though, but the other 3 on the other channel, they get onto Spotify and Apple and Good Pods. So the other channel is called, I'll put myself up full screen for a sec. Don't Puck with Media. So this is the logo, which I designed. I didn't design this part inside. We paid for that, but the rest of the logo I designed, the T-shirt I designed, and almost everything in my store that I've designed, either the logos or I designed the T-shirt if I didn't design. But everything I've got it there. There's only a few that I didn't have anything to do with the logo, and I just put it up on the T-shirt. But so yeah, check it out. We got everything there, man. Shorts, shirts, hats, mugs, shoes, running shoes for all the podcasts. And yeah, check it out. Now, I'll say this. I'm going to be moving that. I believe I'm going to change over to spread shirts because of where the ownership is and where all the products ship from. But right now, the mugs and the hats from where they ship from Canada, and they're made here in Canada. So just if that's important to you, because it's important to me. But yeah, so that's all I can say. All right, I'm going to take off now. So just mugs. There's the Talking Habs mug. Habnormals podcast logo, which I designed as well. It didn't come out too bad on here. The Habnormals, the Talking Habs came out nice though. That's a really nice logo on here. So got the mugs, It's a hat. Habnormal's logo for the hat. A hat. I have not worn another hat since I got this one, so very comfortable. I've washed it once. Like it's a good hat. So that's it. If you want to help feed my dog, check out that link and get some merch and help feed my dog and my cats. How you like that? Everybody else does that, so I'm going to start selling like that too. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Junkie, for passing by. I really appreciate it, and I'll be in touch soon. And everybody, have a great rest of Saturday night. It's really early, so you got plenty of time to do that. And I will be back. When am I coming back? I have no idea what next week is like. But the Have Normals podcast will be out for Monday. Hopefully, I'll have a co-host this week. I think I will. And that's it till next time. Stay safe out there. Peace out. Appreciate you guys being here. And that's it. Give a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And have a great night, everybody. Ciao, everybody.